Hey ratbags, it's Jade with a Valheim news video today, taking a look at potentially the future of Valheim, the Deep North 1.0, what to expect, mod support, PlayStation, all these things. So much has often been spoken about Valheim's future, but it is getting to the home stretch now. That may take a while, but we are going to be seeing the 1.0 release pretty much with the Deep North. This has all come from GDC and Jonathan Smars, the lead programmer at Irongate, as well as other stuff, as this was a talk he gave in March. It's finally available now. I'm going to link it down in the comment section so you can listen to it all. It's about 45 minutes long, maybe 35 minutes. And it's a great listen to hear how a small team makes a game, and especially for the negative Nellies in the comments, always asking why they don't hire more people, why they went and bought a horse, why updates take so long. Hopefully a lot of these answers will shut you the hell up. But lots of great stuff in here, lots of anecdotes about how to make your game in early access, the success of Valheim and what it's allowed them to do and focus on taking on feedback, but trying to stick to their own vision and plans. So leave a like if you find this video useful, and let's cover what we know and potentially look to the future. I know it's a way away and we've only just got the Ashlands out the door, but the 1.0 is nearly in sight. So big shout out to Jonathan, absolutely hero guy. If I ever need a guardian for my kids, I think I'm going to choose him. He's a volunteer firefighter. He makes cool games. That is definitely cool bonus points for having someone as your dad. He spoke a lot about what was going on with obviously Valheim and their development, and learned some really cool stuff, how early access was made, why they ended up having a roadmap which was kind of just thrown together by their publisher, really promising stuff that they'd rarely kind of talked about. It was more a case of the publisher just saying we need something. How that did come back to bite them in the butt a little bit with players' expectations, expecting so much in just the first year, which was incredibly tough at the time because there was still only 7 actual developers working on the game, even though they've increased to about 13, so double the size nearly now. Jonathan also touched on the horse and didn't say anything negative really about the people being trolly, but this was a big deal, perpetuated in my opinion by some really negative dickhead YouTubers, convinced that all their money, the millions of sales they made, all went on buying a horse instead of getting more developers. When the truth was they just simply sponsored a special sanctuary or horse riding company that was going out of business due to COVID. But at the time, this got me angry, it really did. Certain creators and certain people in the community harping on about it as if it was the world's worst thing. And really, it was just something nice to do, an outreach for someone in your community. But Jonathan did focus on the positives, talking about the updates, the cadence, 79 small patches, major ones too. I'll bet some people still want them to be more regular, but the fact is that these patches have taken time. And the fact is that Valheim is not really just an everyday early access game. Irongate's ethos on making sure that each release is treated like a full release, so that nothing really upsets players' progression. You don't wipe any of their story, their history in the game. Honestly, it's great to hear so much of what I have already known for years about Valheim and the team behind it, but being spoken about a little bit more openly. But okay, I've wasted time enough. Let's get on to what people really want to talk about or know, I guess. 1.0, what's going to happen with it? So naturally, polishing everything, going out with a bang. The Deep North will only arrive with 1.0, not before. They're going to have full achievement support and they're working towards mod support. It does list it here, but Jonathan does explain that it's something they're thinking about. So only 4 kind of big features that may be being mentioned and may be pretty obvious, but I still think it's worth clearing up. Some people might be expecting the Deep North to arrive relatively soon, but given the amount of time between each of the last updates, I wouldn't expect 1.0 to hit maybe until the end of 2025 and possibly even 2026. When you factor in they're doing a new biome, they're going to polish the rest of the game. We don't know what's going to happen if they're going to be improving the oceans. There's something they've been putting on a list, whether that will be just part of 1.0, the experience of adding maybe slightly more new content or making it even a bit more varied or interesting. I personally think we'll see stuff like that arrive in a mini update, and I do think we're going to get a couple of mini updates maybe before 1.0, but maybe not adding a slew of content, just more about getting things ready for that 1.0 release. No real kind of teases about what the Deep North will contain, other than we all just think it's going to be pretty cold. And what happens after 1.0? Is there going to be post-launch support? It's pretty trendy at the moment with so many early access titles to keep offering content afterwards, even if they're not a live service game style, but a lot of times because they want people to carry on buying the game because they need to. And a lot of that content should have probably came out during early access, but they for whatever reason didn't have time or decided to release it afterwards. So is Valheim going to go down that route? In talks with Grim and the rest of the devs in the past, it seems like they've got big ideas and potentially about what they would like to do. But things can change and we don't know for definite. Even so, if it was no more post content for Valheim after its launch, I think we'd all agree it'd be amazing still. Like, the game is a gem even without any more continued support. If they do go ahead and decide to update still and add more content to it, well, even better, that's just a cherry on top of the cake. Someone did ask about PlayStation release at the end of it, and Jonathan really couldn't answer it. He seemed pretty uncomfortable, trying to laugh it off that he could neither confirm nor deny. You would imagine, since they've got a Game Pass deal with Microsoft, that they're probably not allowed to really talk about any other potential competition. And it's a bit different from Microsoft's own games that they're starting to release, like Grounded on PlayStation, because they paid probably a lot of money to secure Valheim as an exclusive for a while. In fact, it's never been confirmed whether or not it is going to be just a timed exclusive while they're in early access, or whether or not it's always been a full-blown exclusive. As I said, unlike their first-person games, party games, Microsoft have no interest in really making that game available for others, but we'll have to wait and see. I'd like to take Jonathan's nervous laughter and maybe deflection as a sign that it might happen eventually, but I just can't simply talk about it. And when you add to the fact that Embracer still own, obviously, Coffee Stain, just about, even though they're split up into 3 different companies, Coffee Stain will still probably want to get as much money as they can going forward. So yeah, I would see maybe a PlayStation release at some point in 2026. I don't think whatever happened with the Xbox kind of paying them off for it would mean it would be exclusive forever. If we take a look at the 1.0 actual roadmap still, you can see certain things for sure, like ships and the sea. We know we've just added the Drakkar, so some of that's already covered, and we've seen lots of fishing improvements with the sea. The Cult of the Wolf is pretty much added. It was part of obviously the Ice Cave Biomes update. We had tar pits added, we had vendor inventory expansion with obviously Hilda, and then we've got the Svarta Brigands, which are in the game now as the little dwarves around Ashlands and Mistlands. They added new unique locations with the mini boss areas, maybe more to come. Sandbox mode is pretty much there with the customizable settings that we already have now. It's really only the moon phases that we haven't really heard much of, or maybe any kind of nod to, and whether or not what that would mean in the future. So yeah, it's going to be interesting times. It may be a while now, as you would expect. They're still currently working out some kinks and stuff with the Ashlands, and I know there's still a lot of feedback, as we've seen, from slight dip in recent reviews, showing that people still find the Ashlands a little bit polarizing. But what this talk really gave to me was a sense that people should trust in the developers. We should always give them feedback, but they've got the game's best interests at heart. This is their project that they love. They're working their hardest for it. They're always looking to increase and add what players want, but also stay true to their own vision and not be too drawn away from that. It's their vision that's carried on making Valheim an amazing experience and game, so we should really trust in that a bit more. That's my opinion. Absolutely go and watch the full thing. You'll hear about the early start of Valheim and how Jonathan does stuff with the QA teams and how they come together to make stuff like the bats. Some of this stuff you've heard in interviews with me and the gang, but it's nice to hear Jonathan's own take on it properly throughout this whole video. So there we go. Go and watch the link. Go and leave a comment, and I'll see you ratbags for more Valheim news in the future. I'm going off to see if I can conquer Ashlands one more time.